Morning, guys. Welcome to Saturday Question and Answer. And boy, do we have a big one for us today. I'll tell you what. But before that, guys, would you do us a favor? Smash that like button so that the algorithm gets broken and we can actually push these videos out to the wide world, which really needs to see them. I'll tell you what, guys, today, by the way, it is so chilly out. It's sunny as can be, to be sure, but boy, the wind coming in is really cold, and that's why you see me getting my sweaters on. I'll tell you what, it's getting to be about that time down here in Texas, to be sure. Well, guys, the question that we're going to talk about today is why, when we get all this news happening in this XRP ledger, XRP Ripple ecosystem, but we don't see any prices moving, or we don't see the price action that you would think you would see when that happens. And this is a big question. I get it practically every single week, and it's one of the best ones that we actually get, and it's certainly deserving of an answer, to be sure. And I'm going to give you my answer, and I'll tell you what, guys, you can add to it, but I think that the answer I give you is going to explain a lot, to be sure. So, as we all know, we thought back there when we were under the lawsuit, and I'm going to use this as an example, but there are many other examples of fabulous news coming out there for Ripple and for XRP in the XRP ecosystem where we don't really see major price appreciation like you would think you would see. So, the one I'm going to use is this. When we were under that lawsuit, and most folks were looking at this thing and they thought, okay, it is done, that the SEC is going to win, XRP is going to be classified to be a security, and then that's it for the rest of us. And if you're not an accredited investor, well, you're going to be pushed and on and on and on. And so those of us that were investing at that time, boy, oh boy, were we in high risk. If you think it's risky now, it was much riskier then, to be sure. And a lot of us know about that. And of course, the price was really hammered down because of that lawsuit. Well, and then, of course, what happened? Where, all of the exchanges, Save, Uphold, had delisted it. And the deal is this. If you had got a listing back, let's say, for instance, before we got that decision on Judge Annalisa Torres, Coinbase relisted XRP. Wow, XRP should have seen a major pump and more than likely would have seen a massive pump had that happened and stuff like that, even under those circumstances. But the big deal was, if we got a major decision from the court, like we did with Judge Annalisa Torres, and XRP was determined not to be a security, and on top of that, we got all of these exchanges literally practically within 24 hours. You had Coinbase, Kraken, and on and on and on. All these major exchanges relisting XRP. But the price of XRP literally only went up maybe, 100 and some percent? And I think it didn't even crash through $1. It was like 96 cents or something like that. And guys, my answer when I see that going on is, it is manipulation. Absolutely, zero doubt. And we know that this market is big time manipulated. Now, one of the big ways that happens, especially when you get, that news out there that, oh, you're seeing all these whales buying, but the price isn't increasing. A lot of times that's over-the-counter trading that's going on there. And you got these market makers that are literally out there and they're controlling the narrative and what the price is and on and on and on. And how are they doing it? With the buy and sell orders, and they're literally making it happen in this space. And now markets have been, we've seen how markets have been manipulated before. I mean, you got JP Morgan Chase out there that got almost $1 billion fine, I think it was, for manipulating the silver market. Don't think that market manipulation is not playing a big time role. We know that it is. And in this space, it has literally been like that for a long time. Now, the thing is this, when you're talking about whales, these big time players manipulating the market, think about it in this capacity. These folks are out there. They want to make money one way going up, and they make it going down. So they make it longing it and they make it shorting it. Now, when these big exchanges, get this, guys, too, when these big exchanges, they see the order books, and the deal is this: when they see that they're in big time positions, like, where people are longing it and they're leverage trading, and boy, in this space, by the way, people have literally lost their ever loving minds when they're out there. They're leveraging at 3, 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 50, 100x leverage. I have seen so many people out there doing leverage trading, and they literally are getting liquidated like crazy. Now the exchanges in this space, they see that. They see the order books. They see that, hey, there is massive leverage out there, either when it's longing it or when they're shorting it. And when they see that, it never ceases to amaze me, the scammy wicks that come in, where you see when there are big time leverage longs, and we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars, all of a sudden, bam, something happens, and it just seemed to be like, a mini black swan or something. The price, boof, drops way down, and literally within a couple of days or 3 or 4 days, hey, it's almost back up to where it was, and literally you have just watched millions upon millions upon millions of dollars of folks, their portfolios getting absolutely liquidated. And the same thing happens when you have short squeezes, short positions, and all that kind of stuff. When, a lot of people are thinking, it's going to dump, and they see all these shorts, then out of nowhere, right out of the blue, bam, the whole thing goes up there. And all of a sudden, for no apparent reason whatsoever, the price shoots up there, and all of those traders get absolutely liquidated. Now, guys, for Judy and I, hey, we're not out there. We're not traders. We're hodlers. We're like most of the people in this XRP ecosystem. We buy and we hold because it's the long-term fundamentals. Guys, this short price action that we're seeing right now, I don't trust it either, because I know how I've watched and saw how a lot of these market works. Now, a day is absolutely going to come, guys, and I do believe it, that there is, when we see the institutional adoption and the institutional custody that's coming down the road for this space, and you are literally watching it happen more and more in real time, then you are going to wish for the days that we could buy XRP at these prices, because of what's coming way down the road. Now, for me, listen, I oftentimes look at it like this. I worked for 25 plus years up there for the government in Canada, and to get a pension that kind of gets you by bit. And it's not, the way I like to say it, it's not a golden parachute, but it's not a lead balloon either. It's kind of like right there in the middle. But needless to say, 25 years working for that pension. Do you think, I'm telling you what, I can hold on for 5, 6, maybe 7 years to see a massive return on our investment. Now, when you see these bull markets move in this space, think about it. You got all these folks that come out there, and when it's like right ready to go parabolic, and they'll get out there and they'll say stuff like, wow, it's practically irresponsible for you not to get involved. That's how good it is. Remember Jim Cramer coming out there in February of 2021, and he was saying stuff like, every treasurer should be going to the board of directors and saying, hey, we should be holding Bitcoin on the books. Hey, it's a nice hedge against fiat, and on and on and on. Then when we're in the depths of the bear market and it's cheap as you could possibly get it, that's when he's telling, you got to stay away from it, and on and on and on. Guys, it's that kind of stuff, because when it starts to march up there, and it gets really starts to go parabolic, do you realize that more people are FOMOing, not getting in, but staying in? Why? Because they're afraid, and they're listening to that manipulated narrative out there of, it's never going to stop it. And, they're afraid to take profits, right? They're afraid to take profits because of what they might miss out on down the road, rather than giving themselves that gift of contentment. So, hey, that's a big one. And then when it's as cheap as you could possibly buy it, that's when, you get the narrative, all the FUD, it's going to zero, it's a nothing burger, I've held on to it for years, I hold over 1 million XRP, and I haven't seen any profits, and on and on and on. And guys, that is just sheer and utter baloney and FUD. You see those coming out, they may not even be real human beings, those could be bots. But needless to say, millionaires are not made in the bull runs way up here. Buy them way up here. No, millionaires are made in the bear markets when you buy low and sell high. That's grade 5 economics, isn't it? And that's what's going on. What we're dealing with right now in the wide world is manipulation and on a massive scale. And a lot of these big players, like a lot of these trading houses and stuff like that, they pretend to have the high moral standards and all this and that. And, we're the gatekeepers for these markets and in the traditional space and on, have been some of the most biggest manipulators and stuff like that in this space. Just look at all the fines that Wells Fargo has had to pay because of cheating their own clients, and JP Morgan Chase and all of these big players that have this attitude that somehow they're way more, and have more integrity than the rest of us. And oh, by the way, this crypto space, well, that's all tax cheaters and, fraudsters and everything else. Are you kidding me? Absolute nonsense when you consider how the markets are played in the wide world. But if you really, really want to know the answer for why you see such fabulous news coming out with these ecosystems, and including, hey, even Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that, we're all in a bear market together. And when a rising tide, hey, raises all ships. When you watch Bitcoin start going back up there and it starts getting really some big time momentum, I'm going to tell you something, guys. You're going to watch the rest of the space, including XRP, go with it. Why? Because of that very nature. Have you ever noticed that most of these assets trade in tandem? They either go up in tandem or they go down in tandem. That's because of the way in which this marketplace works. And what's going on right now with Bitcoin? Well, you guessed it. A lot of ETFs and spot ETFs are coming out. And why do they want those? Guys, so that institutional players can get access to this digital asset space and invest without holding the actual asset. They can invest in the exchange traded funds. That's what's going on. And you bet your bottom dollar, your last XRP, it is manipulating the game. The big time players. Now, I often come out and I say this. Listen, this is how you beat them at their own game. You don't do what they say. You follow. You don't follow their advice, you follow their behavior. Now, I can't be a whale, and most of us can't, right? But I'm stacking my pennies next to their dollars, and when they move, I move. We're like, you don't want to be the krill where you're gobbled all up, but you want to be those tag-alongs that the whales will literally let swim in between their teeth and clean them and stuff like that. I'm telling you guys, you gotta think strategically, and this is where getting out there and really, really researching it for yourself and watching how the markets are played and they move and this and that, and getting truly educated in this space can absolutely make you a fortune. Fortunes definitely have been made in this space. Look, people were out there back in 2017 buying XRP, get this, for a little less than a penny. And that whole time, boy, the FUD was on steroids like it is today. It was the same narrative. You go back and look at some of the historic posts on Reddit and all these different platforms. Read it. You would think you're reading today's news. I'm telling you, it was the same thing. And then one day, bam, that thing just exploded like a rocket ship, and within 3 weeks goes from about 20 cents, because it did appreciate from that 0.006 up to about 17 to 20 cents, went to $3.84. Now, if you were buying it back there and you averaged in at that, those prices under a penny and stuff like that, you were made a millionaire in that move. Then in 2020, when it went to 17.5 cents, 17.48 cents, 1,200% return just in 4 months. Now, the thing is this, when these markets absolutely explode, it happens fast. And guys, when it goes up, it comes back down really quick too. And that's why getting your plan in place is a big, big deal. And that's why I'm out there. And by the way, I had people criticize, saying, oh, you're charging $250 for coaching and things. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much Lewis Jackson and people like that charge? And you can find this out for yourself. 1 hour of time with Lewis Jackson is $1,000 US. That's right. And then you got all these other guys. Listen, the thing is this. Time and value is there. I offer that coaching as a help to people in this space that really, really need it and really, really want it to help them get to that place. And I do it for as cheap as we possibly can. And something else that a lot of people don't know, Judy and I'll tell you what, we are tithers and we are givers and we love to bless, and that's for sure. And a lot of that comes out of that too. But guys, you got to get your plan in place. Don't let yourself get, hoodwinked by all of the manipulation that goes. Get out there and educate yourself. And I'm telling you, you can really make the system work for yourself. It's happened to so many people, but you have to be out there truly educating yourself and researching it for yourself. Well, guys, I sure hope that you've enjoyed this Saturday question and answer. And hey, remember, tomorrow we got Sugar on Sunday. Some nuggets of amazing encouragement to give you. I really value each and every one of you. You are absolutely the best community in all of crypto, in my estimation. You've encouraged Judy and I so much, and we just want to make sure that you guys are out there being encouraged as well. Don't let yourself get all fudded out. Don't get freaked out. Take the rest of the day. Just enjoy the family and enjoy your Saturday and get out there. And hey, I know it's hustle and bustle if you're out there doing your groceries and stuff like that, but just enjoy your weekend. And until tomorrow, have a great one and take care.